Welcome everyone, welcome back, because I know most of you have done most of your elective sessions. Thank you for those that participated in our painting session. Today's session is College and Career Plan, and we have an amazing presenter, Ernie Rios. I met him through networking, which is key tool here at OneFuture, and Ernie is amazing. I met him through networking, and one thing that I always remember from Ernie is this one story he gave us back during a couple conferences where he was trying to get out there and trying to get funding for his college, and he was applying to multiple scholarships, and it's a story that I tell to everyone, to be honest, and it's one where he applied to a female scholarship, so scholarship that was specifically for females only. And like the foundation called him and they're like, this is a scholarship specifically for females. And he's like, yes. And they're like, well, we didn't have that many applicants, so here you go. When it comes to like college, honestly, there are restrictions, but if you keep pushing, it'll probably go away for you. And of course, Ernie is our Vice President of College Success. So I would really pay attention to this because it helps with everything. I'll let Ernie continue talking about college and career plan.
Great. Thank you, Marlene, and welcome students. I'm really excited to have this opportunity to connect with you on your college going process. It's actually something that I look forward to every year. As we've been working with students over the years, it's just such a humbling opportunity and honor for us to work with you as you pursue your post-secondary goals and then work with you in your transition into the workforce. So again, really excited to present today on this topic on college and career planning. So I'm going to share my screen here. And some of you that have been with us are returning scholars. You've seen this presentation in previous sessions, and I'm going to give some updates. Again, this is a good check-in for students that have been with us over the years to recalibrate your plan, make sure that you're on track with those goals that you're trying to accomplish in your college, career, and life. This presentation is really designed to help you hone in on what's important to you as an individual. Over the years, as we've worked with our scholarship recipients and even on a professional level, as I've worked with business education, civic leaders, family members, colleagues in the community, it's come to light that oftentimes you're not happy with what it is that you're doing in your life. Sometimes you might be at a specific job or you're pursuing a specific goal that really isn't your goal. It's someone has created a goal for you or a life for you that you're not really happy with. And unfortunately, there are individuals that will go an entire lifetime executing on specific goals and trying to reach specific outcomes in their lives that aren't theirs. And so that's what we're trying to avoid. One example that I give for those of you that I haven't had an opportunity to meet, I am a local product, attended Coachella Valley High School, attended College of the Desert, then went off to attend school at UCLA. And my interest was in the entertainment industry. And I was fortunate in that I had the opportunity to work over the years with celebrities. And I looked up to many of these individuals. They were in the media. Many of my peers and friends, we looked up to them. It was like, I want that status. I want to be like a celebrity. I want to have their lifestyle. I want to have their money. As I worked with them, I soon came to the realization, again, that many of them were unhappy. And one specific incident came to mind that really changed the way that I viewed setting goals and oftentimes what we see in the media. There was a celebrity that we were working with, and I was in a set. We were doing a music video, and I looked up to this person. And as I was sitting with them, I was listening to them talk about their lives, and they were sharing how they had all the money in the world that they could ever want. They had this celebrity status, but they would give that all away if they could just have friends that were true to them, if they felt that they actually had a life that was fulfilling. The more that I heard that, and I heard it often, it was a realization that oftentimes, again, you see certain things in the media. You might have family members and friends that have this very specific career or life that they think would be best for you. But behind the scenes, you might not be happy with that. It doesn't fulfill you. So again, part of what we want to do here today is help you hone in on what's important to you. To get started, just want to help clarify what this college and career plan is, this personal mission statement. A mission statement is a written constitution. It's something that outlines for you what's important and helps you create goals. What are you driving to? What is it that you want to accomplish in your academics, your career, and your life? It's a really valuable tool because along the way, if you lose track academically or career-wise, it's a great tool to come back to. You can tweak that personal mission statement and career plan along the way. It's not intended to be set in stone, but it is intended to be a guide for you, that along the way you can come back and go back to that plan and say, here's why I'm doing what I do every day in school and in my career. And this is what I feel fulfilled with. So again, it's a guide, it's your compass that will help you along the way. What's included in your personal mission statement? You include your vision, your values, and your goals. And we'll define each one of these for you along the way. Again, in our personal lives, if we don't develop our own self-awareness, become responsible for those goals that we set for ourselves, we empower others to do that for us. And we see this often amongst our scholarship recipients as our team goes through the scholarship applications. Oftentimes we hear students that will tell us, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer. But when we get to know the students and ask, why do you want to become a doctor? Why do you want to become a lawyer or a teacher? At times we hear students say, well, because my mom or my dad told me that that's what I have to do. It's something that is in our family, or that's where the money's at. So that's why I want to do it. Or my friends thought that would be a good career for me because they know me and they think that this is what I should be doing. When you, again, allow others to define for you what's important, you're empowering them to lead your lives. And we want to, again, avoid that for you. We want to make sure that you're setting goals for yourself that make you feel fulfilled, that make you happy. At the end of the day, we really care about you. And if you haven't heard it enough through the different sessions we've had, you're part of the OneFuture family, and we care about you. We want to make sure that you feel happy and you feel fulfilled with your academic and career goals. So again, we want to make sure that you're taking action and you're leading your own life. Again, leadership is lacking in our own personal lives. We're into managing with efficiency, setting and achieving goals before we've even clarified our values. And again, I use this example of, when I ask students, why do you have a 4.0? Why are you driving to, have this perfect attendance or doing internships? Oftentimes we hear, well, because that's what my counselor told me I had to do. I have to get good grades. My parents told me I have to get straight A's, but it's not understanding why you have to get good grades. Rarely do we hear our students say, well, I have to get good grades because I want to become a doctor. And in order to become a doctor, I need to get good grades so I can get scholarships and I want to go to med school. And it's understanding why you're doing what you do rather than trying to achieve goals efficiently that someone else has set for you. So again, it's taking leadership of your life and not just doing things because someone has laid it out for you and said, this is why you have to do it. You have to do the following coursework, you have to get the following grades, and you not really understanding why you're doing it. We want to make sure that you understand why you're doing this work. Why are you going to college? There's a specific goal you're trying to get to. You want to get a college degree, you want to earn a good job, you want to provide for your family, you want to make a difference for your community. It's helping define that for you. And again, our goal is to assist you in establishing those goals, those priorities, and not allowing others to do that for you. So management is efficiently climbing the ladder of success. Leadership is determining whether that ladder is leaning against the right wall. So again, helping you understand, am I going down this path and I'm managing very efficiently what others have told me I have to do and executing on what they're telling me to do? Or is it I'm taking this leadership role to understand why I'm doing it and why it's important to me to reach my goals? So some of you this summer might be preparing for an internship, or you're getting ready for college to start here in the next couple of weeks, or maybe picking up a job. And along the way, you're creating goals for yourselves. You're setting, I'm going to join a club as soon as school starts. I'm going to volunteer for this internship, or I'm going to get a job. And you're setting goals. I know over the years, even as we've shared with students this personal mission statement, college career plan, oftentimes students are quick to start filling it out. It's like, let me just complete this. Let me go ahead and submit and get it off my plate. But I caution you not to do that. And I ask that you pause and really give thought to what those goals are. Because again, we want to make sure that you're working towards goals that are important to what you're trying to accomplish and you're giving thought to it rather than just simply setting goals for yourselves because you want to just get something off your plate. And then along the way, you're trying to understand why you're working towards a specific goal with no clarity. Again, coming back to this personal mission statement and to help you hone in on what's important to me as I set goals, we're going to talk about, again, vision, values, and goals. And each one of these tiers up to those goals. So they come in sequence. And again, we'll walk through some exercises here to help you get there. Let's take as an example careers. Some of you have already defined what specific career you want to go into. You have an idea, you know that, I want to be a doctor again, or I want to be a business person. I want to go into hospitality. You have an idea of what you want to do. So in that process, as all of you have been deciding what it is you want to accomplish, you've looked at your major, there's a process you're going through. And I'm going to use this as an analogy to help you understand that connection between your vision, your values, and again, setting goals. All of you, and especially our students that just recently graduated from high school, one of the first things that you were asked to define in your college applications is what major do you want to focus on and want to pursue? So you research and you decide on your major. As you're thinking of this career, it's like, okay, I want to become a doctor. Well, what major is going to get me on track to eventually become a physician? So you research and decide on a major. You define what that major is. Then you research your academic options and select the college or university that is the best fit for you. I like a learning environment that meets my specific needs. I don't like big classrooms. I like classrooms that are small. I want to interact with the professors and I want to be treated with respect. I don't want to go to a school where I'm just a number and no one even cares about me. You define your major, you look at your academic options, and then you decide, I'm going to go to X, Y, and Z university. Again, you define your major, here's where I'm going to go to get that knowledge so that I can reach my goal. When you start college, professors have an academic plan ready for your major. If you want to become a physician, you have declared your major as biology. When you get to the college university, the professors have an academic plan ready for your major. Here's the sequence of classes you're going to take over the next 4 years for your undergraduate degree. And then you're going to go to med school, and here's what you're going to do in med school. You're going to do your residency and so forth. So they've defined for you, they have a plan. Here's what you're going to do to help you get that degree. Along the way, college students change their majors 80% of the time. So as you're taking classes, you take a class maybe in public health and you realize, I really was interested in becoming a physician, but now, I'm interested in public policy. Or I took that class in history and that really piqued my interest and I really like that. Or I have all these options in this area of interest, but I just don't know what specific career I want to pursue now. And that's okay. Again, 80% of the time, students change their majors. When this happens, students get feedback from their academic advisors. And again, they make course corrections to their intended academic plan. I was planning on pursuing this specific major and career, but now I'm interested in this following field and I'm going to do a double major. I would now want to pair up my biology degree with public policy major, or I want to pick up a minor in history. Whatever that might be, the academic plan changes and there's correction. You go back to that academic plan and you make the correction. In a similar way, I use this analogy because this also tracks with you defining what your vision, your values, and your personal mission statement, your college and career plan will look like. Your career, I want to become a physician. That's your vision. That's where you want to go. That's what you're working towards as you go into post-secondary and then you pursue your career goal. This is where you want to go. Your academic options, those are your values. That's what's important to me. On my journey to become a doctor, as I go through my undergraduate program at X, Y, and Z University, here's the way that I want to be treated in my journey towards this specific career that I want to reach. Your vision and your values combined with that academic plan or your personal mission statement, your college and career plan is what encompasses, again, this plan. It's taking your vision, where I want to go, how I want to get there, and then defining those goals that are going to help you reach that vision that you've set for yourself. That's what the personal mission statement, your college and career plan consists of, is very clearly defining where you're going, this vision, how you want to get there, what are the things that you need to do to help you reach that intended outcome, that vision that you have for yourself, and then defining goals to get you there along the way. Vision and values are important building blocks that must align with each other. If you want to get to that goal, becoming a physician, then you need to make sure that your values are aligning. I want to be treated in the following way to get there. If they don't align, you're going to have a bumpy road along the way, and you're not going to be happy with that journey. So we want to make sure that as you're going through school and you're, again, trying to get to your vision, that your values are aligned, that you're not setting a target for yourself. I want to become a doctor, and that's not really aligned with what's important to you, that you want to focus on, again, that vision and those values connecting with each other, and they're aligned. as I shared previously, people oftentimes struggle with achieving this celebrity status. Like, I want to be famous. I see these celebrities in the media. I want to be like them, or I want to earn more money. And unfortunately, as individuals go through life, they realize that they were blinded by trying to reach these goals that either someone else had set for them, or they were working towards specific goals that really didn't track with their values. And again, I shared the example earlier of working with individuals that I personally looked up to, only to come to find out that they were miserable. They had everything that I thought I would want in my life, all the money, all the status, and they had the perfect life. But the reality is they're not happy because their values and their vision did not align. Yes, they wanted to perhaps go into the music industry, or they wanted to go into arts and entertainment, but they didn't expect that life that they were now living. And so part of the work that, again, we want to do here today is make sure that you are defining your vision and values to help you be successful in reaching those goals. You might ask, how do I know if my vision and values are aligned? We're going to go through a little exercise here to help you, again, see if your vision and values are aligning. And for those students that have done this exercise before, I want to share that we encourage you to do this exercise again. It's always helpful to check in with yourself and see if you need to calibrate your priorities based on, again, that vision and values that you've defined for yourself. For those students that haven't, again, participated in this session previously, we're going to do a little exercise that we call the circle of life. I did this exercise a couple of years ago, and it was an eye-opener for me because it really helped define what my values were, and also put into focus for me what my vision was that I wanted to achieve in my own personal and professional career in life. I want to ask students if you could take out a piece of paper, and I want you to draw the following diagram that you see up on the screen. Draw it on a piece of paper. I'll give you about a minute or two. I want you to, again, draw a circle, just the same diagram that you see on the screen here. Draw a circle. Around the perimeter of the circle, I want you to add the following items: health, wealth, family and friends, playtime. And again, going across, around the perimeter, just write down these following topics all the way around the perimeter. And then I want you to connect the topics across from each other. So career to wealth, just, following the diagram that you see up on the screen. And we'll also share this with you in case you want to complete the assignment later and you want the actual diagram. Again, we want to make sure that all of you participate in this activity because it'll help you with defining your values and your vision. After you've drawn this diagram on a piece of paper, and again, around the perimeter, you've included your health, wealth, family, and friends, go ahead and connect the items. So career to job, contribution, spirituality to playtime, hobbies, and fun, and so forth. So go ahead and do that. Then what I'd like you to do is I want you to plot a little dot on each one of these areas that we're going to be focusing on. So in wealth, you're going to plot a dot, and you'll place the dot on the axes of each one of these areas. And this is going to define the amount of time you're spending in this specific area. So for wealth, as an example, depending on how much time you're spending on this specific area, you're going to plot the dot on that, again, specific field. So if you're spending a lot of time focusing on your wealth, maybe investing, saving money for your school or any personal needs that you might have, that dot is going to be plotted closer to the perimeter of this circle. If you're spending less time on this specific area, the dot's going to be closer to the center of the circle. So you'll see a dot closer to the center of the circle if you're spending less time. So I want you to go ahead and plot on the diagram in each one of these areas the amount of time that you're spending in each one of these categories. So again, if you're spending a good amount of time saving for your school or setting some financial goals for yourself, and you feel you're spending sufficient time, you're going to plot a dot closer to the outside of the perimeter. That means you're spending more time on it. Family and friends. How much time are you spending with your family and friends? Playtime and hobbies. How much time are you spending, again, with doing something that you like, your hobbies, whether it's sports or anything that you feel is fun that you like doing? Again, the closer that you plot the circle to the center of the diagram, that means the least amount of time you're spending on it. The further that the little dot is placed towards the outside of the perimeter of the circle, that means that you're spending more time on it. And you want to do the same thing with relationships. How much time are you spending in relationships, whether it be with your teachers, neighbors, friends? How much time are you spending building relationships with mentors, people in your specific area of interest? So relationships in general. And then career and job. How much time are you spending developing your workforce readiness skills and your career, doing an internship in your specific area of interest? Personal space, so that's time for yourself, taking a walk, just having that alone time. It's your time, spending time just focusing on yourself and taking care of yourself. And then contribution to spirituality or contribution to community, how much time are you spending on that? And then finally, health. How much time are you taking care of your health? After you've, again, plotted on each one of these areas, the amount of time you're spending, I want you to connect the dots on the diagram. When I did this exercise in particular, what really stood out and why it was really an eye-opener was when we did the exercise, we were asked to think of this specific diagram as a representation of our lives. That's why it's called the circle of life. Each one of these areas is representative of an area of our life that makes you feel fulfilled. If you're spending time taking care of your health, you're feeling good about yourself. If you're focusing on, your financial goals, if you're focusing on family and friends, each one of these areas represents an area of your life that helps you feel fulfilled. It's going to help you in, again, reaching your goals in career and life and getting you there in a path that makes you, again, feel fulfilled if you're hitting on all these. What really stood out when I did this exercise, and the analogy that was used when I did this exercise was, they said, look at your diagram, and I want you students to look very specifically at the diagram that you just completed. If you look at your diagram, took that diagram and you put it on a wheel of a car and you drove 100 miles an hour down the freeway, what would that ride feel like? Would it be a smooth ride or would it be a bumpy ride? When I did this exercise, the diagram you see up here on the screen was my specific diagram. It had all these jagged edges. It was not a perfect circle. And the analogy, again, that was given was this is a representation of your life, that if you want to feel fulfilled, you want to get to a point, again, where you have close to a circle as possible, because that'll help you feel fulfilled. You're spending time with family. You're spending time with friends. You're touching on key areas of your life that will help you, again, feel fulfilled. I want you to just keep that in mind, because we're going to do another little exercise here shortly, and this is going to help you hone in on, again, what's important and where are you spending your time. So I want you to set aside this diagram, and we're going to come back to it, but I want you to keep in mind, this is a representation of your life currently, a snapshot. If this was a wheel on a car, this diagram that you just drew out, and we put it on a car and you drive 100 miles an hour, what does that ride feel like? It's a representation of your life in a snapshot at this moment in time. So I want you to put that aside, and we're going to go to the next activity. So in this activity, we want to begin with the end in mind. We've used this as an example because it really helps you hone in on, again, what's important to you. So in this example, I want you all to think of yourselves 20, 40, 50 years from now. You've retired from your career. You were extremely successful in that career that you were pursuing. You wanted to be a doctor, you became a doctor, a teacher, a lawyer, whatever that goal was, you were extremely successful. And in your specific industry, you're being recognized for all the contributions that you made in your specific industry and that you've made to community and family. So you're being recognized. And in this specific award ceremony, honoring all of your contributions to society and to family and community, you're going to be listening to some of the testimonials from individuals that you touched their lives along the way. So I want you to think of that. You're at this ceremony. You're being honored for all the contributions that you've made in your career, in your journey to get to this vision that you wanted to achieve. And as you're sitting in the audience, the organization and the community, all the individuals that are honoring you are going to come up and they're going to speak about you and the impact that you had in their lives. And the first group that's going to come up to speak about the impact you had in their lives is going to be your family. Again, you're being honored, you're being recognized, and your family is going to come up to speak about the impact that you had in their lives. I want you to either flip over the paper that you just used for the diagram or get another piece of paper. And I want you to write down on that piece of paper, what would you like your family to say about you? So again, you're at this very prestigious award ceremony. You're being honored for all the contributions that you made in life, in your career, to community, and to your family. And your family is being asked up to the podium to speak about the impact that you had in their lives. And this is, again, at the end of your professional career, And as you're reflecting back on your life, your family's coming up to speak about you. What would you like them to say about you? So I want you to write that down. What do you want your family to say about you at this very prestigious ceremony and the impact that you had on their lives? Next, your friends are asked to the podium, and your friends are asked to provide a testimonial about the impact that you had in their lives. So I want you to write down what you would like your friends to say about you. Again, you're at a very prestigious award ceremony. It's a who's who of the community, civic leaders, business leaders. The media is out, and they're honoring you for all the work that you did in your specific industry and your career. And your friends are coming up to the podium. What do you want your friends to say about you? And next, your coworkers in the industry that you were in are asked to the podium, and they're going to say a few words about you. What do you want your coworkers to say about you? Again, as a friendly reminder, you're at this very prestigious ceremony. You're being honored for your life's work. Your coworkers are coming up, and they're going to say a few words about the impact that you had in their lives, working with them as colleagues. And finally, the community. So members of the community are being asked to come up to the podium, and they're going to say a few words about the impact that you had on their lives. These could be your neighbors, could be youth that looked up to you in your journey along the way. What impact did you have on your community? What do you want them to say about you and the impact that you had in their lives? So again, family, friends, coworkers, and community, they've all been asked to the podium to speak about the impact you had in their lives. What would you like them to say about you as we celebrate the great work that you did in your industry? What do you want them to say about you? And if you didn't have time to complete the exercise, it's okay. I encourage you to complete it after today's session. Spend some time with it, really reflecting on what you would like, again, your family, friends, coworkers, and community to say about you. We're going to move on to the next step in this process. Each part of our life, today's behaviors, tomorrow, next month's behavior, are examined in the context of the whole. What really matters most to you? So as I shared, this circle of life is supposed to be a representation of your life in this moment in time. Again, as I used, that analogy that was shared with me when I completed this circle of life, that it's a snapshot of your life. If you take that in diagram you drew out, you put it in a car, you drive 100 miles an hour, what does that road feel like, that drive? Mine wasn't a perfect circle. It was, again, jagged all over the place. But when you look back at, again, this exercise that we just went through, reflecting on what you want people to say about you when you're done with your specific career and as you're retiring and you're being celebrated for the impacts you had on society, I want you to look very closely at what it is you want individuals to say about you and go back and look at that diagram, because it's going to help you hone in on whether your values and your vision are aligning. Your values are what you just defined in that exercise, in which you're reflecting back on this is what's important, and I want my family to say that I was there for them, that I supported them when they needed me. My friends, they said that I was there for them. I was that shoulder to cry on when they needed me. I was there to help them whenever they needed help. Whatever it is that you defined or you wanted them to say about you, I want you to go back and look at this circle of life and see how much time you're spending on that. Because again, if that's important to you, and the reason it's called, reflecting back, start with the end in mind, is because that's what's really important to you. That's what's hitting on your values. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much money you had. It doesn't matter whether you had a mansion or you had all this celebrity status. Oftentimes, media portrays as being important or a definition of success. None of that matters. What really matters to you is looking at what you want, the community to say about you, your family, your friends. What it is that you defined, again, is what you want to start with. So as you're starting to think about, I want to get to the specific career, I want to get to the specific goal in life, I want you to think about that exercise, looking very specifically at this goal, what you want at the end of the day to achieve. Like, I want to do the following with my family. I want my family to see that I did the following, or my community to say that I helped them in the following way. Whatever that goal that you wanted to reach, that's what's really important. Again, if you didn't have an opportunity, students, to complete this exercise, I strongly encourage you to spend some time with it this afternoon or whenever you have a quiet moment, just to really reflect on what's important to me. At the end of the day, as I complete this specific journey that I'm embarking on, what do I want to achieve? And how does that align with what you're doing day to day. Looking back again at that circle of life, how does it align? Am I spending enough time with family? If I said that at the end of the day, family was important to me, and just to be very candid and transparent with all of you, when I did this exercise, I did a similar exercise where I was reflecting back on what's important to me at the end of the day, at the end of my career, what's important to me. The one thing that stood out was I was there for family. It was very important to me, and I did what I wanted to accomplish with my family. But when I looked at this circle of life, it was actually least amount of time with my family. It's again an opportunity for you to really look at where you're at, what your goals are, your vision, what you want to accomplish, and are you spending time in that area? Again, the circle of life, what you want to do after you've gone through that process and you've defined what are your values that are important to you, then you can begin to create your specific goals, defining your priorities to say, my family is important, but I'm spending the least amount of time with family or with my friends. That's when you begin to establish those priorities and define where you want to go, the specific goals that you want to set for yourself to get you to that point. Again, defining what's important to you. Again, your vision and your values is what your personal mission statement consists of. As you go through this personal mission statement, we want to encourage you to, before you begin to complete it, complete those two exercises that we gave you. And for the students that, again, for those of you that are renewals, I encourage you to go through that exercise again. Again, do a little calibration of, am I where I want to go or where I'm trying to go with my values and my vision? Are they aligning? Again, it's always helpful to just gauge where you're at. So as you're going through the personal mission statement, what you're going to want to do is, again, envision your future, write your vision for the future you would like to reach. We do provide here to help you, again, get those creative juices flowing and to get you motivated, a link to some videos that can help you with visioning your future. You can use those. It's a little tool tip that you can use along the way. But what you're going to do in that first step is define envisioning your vision, your future. What would you like to reach in your academic and career goals? Next, you want to write your mission statement for college. So again, before you start setting goals like I want to have a 4.0 GPA or I want to go from a 3.0 to a 3.5, you want to make sure that, again, you're reflecting on this vision, where you want to go and your values, what's important, how are you going to get there, and then beginning to set those goals. I want to graduate from college in 4 years with a degree in blank. It's important to earn at least the following GPA, and I would like to find a career so that I can do the following. Again, you want to make sure that your mission statement and the goals you're setting for yourself are tracking with your values. So this is where you're going to write your mission statement for college, defining very specifically the steps you need to take to help you get there. Next, in step 3, you're going to set some long and short-term goals that support your personal mission statement. So academic goals. I will earn the following grade in this course. I'm not doing too well in math, but it's important for this major that I'm pursuing, this vision. And so I want to boost my grades up. Again, this is where you want to start setting some goals, some academic goals for yourself, and then writing the, again, very specific goals that you're going to pursue. So you can use one of the long-term academic support sentences here to help you with that goal. And then next, write 2 short-term academic goals that support that long-term goal. And again, you can use the sentences that we could provide here, or you can create some for yourself. Next is a financial goals. So decide on a long-term financial goal that supports your college mission. So on this one here as well, again, for those of you students, I know just in the last few days, I've been working with some of you to look at your financial aid packages, and there's a financial need gap, and you're needing to apply for more scholarships, or you need to take on a summer job to cover that financial need gap. So in this specific goal, you want to set your financial goals. I will pay my debt by this date. I will save X amount of dollars this year to help me save for med school, for grad school. So you want to go ahead and set those goals for yourself. So your financial goals, establishing, again, what's important to you as you're trying to get to that vision. Next is your campus goals. So decide on one long-term college campus goal that you want to reach. So this is where, again, you're going to define becoming involved in campus, volunteering with a community organization. You want to make sure that you establish those specific goals. And then also with your short-term goals, accessing specific resources on campus, and when you're going to access those resources on campus, you want to make sure that you define those as well. Defining your college and campus goals, and again, deciding on a short-term and your long-term goals here. And then finally, complete the personal mission statement graphic. It's really important. I know some of you have already participated in the last session where you drew out what this vision looks like. I want to reach this specific goal, and I'm going to sketch out what that is going to look like here 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So you're going to sketch what that specific goal looks like that you're trying to reach. So in this specific step 4, complete the personal mission statement graphic, you're going to sketch out that vision. This is something that's very powerful, and I strongly recommend students that you take seriously and you complete. It's your vision board. I did a vision board when I was going through college. At the time, I didn't know what a vision board was, but it's very powerful. I used pictures of myself in those goals that I had set for myself to help me see myself working towards them. So as an example, I wanted to, again, work in the entertainment industry. That was a goal that I had for myself, and it was very specific. I wanted to work with very specific celebrities, that I looked up to. I wanted to attend specific events in the entertainment industry, and I put these images up right in front of my computer so I could see them on the refrigerator, in my dorm, at home, in my car. They were plastered everywhere as a reminder of why I was doing the specific work that I was working towards to keep me motivated. So I want to encourage you students, again, to complete this step along the way. So after you've gone through, you've defined what your values are, and you're starting to create your goals, financial goals, academic goals, goals on campus, you then want to draw that out, and you can cut out images from newspapers, or for those of you that use Photoshop, you can creative with it. But the whole purpose here is you want to create that vision board and put it somewhere that you're going to see it consistently. And then for students that are in their junior and senior year, again, as you've gone through, and students that are incoming freshmen in college, this will be something that you have available to you. But again, we'll put more attention to as you complete your first and second year of college. You can set some goals for yourself here and complete some of these steps, but it's going to become very important. These sections that I'm going to cover here shortly are going to become really important as you get into your junior and senior year of college. So for those scholars joining us today that are in their junior and senior year in college, these are steps in the personal mission statement and career plan that we really want you to spend some time with over the next couple of months as you work towards completing your undergraduate degree. So career planning, getting started with LinkedIn. If you haven't already done that, it's a requirement of our scholarship program. We want to make sure that you have your LinkedIn account so that you begin to develop that network. And we want you to connect with our OFCV LinkedIn network as well as part of this process. The career exploration, again, what we really want you to hone in on as you're starting to really define, here's what I want to do career-wise. This is what's important to me, my values. This is what I'm working towards. We want to make sure that you spend time in this area. I can't stress enough, students, how important it is to keep an open mind as you're going through this specific section in step number 6. We've seen over the years, sometimes students, as they graduate from college, they graduate with the very specific mindset. I graduated with this degree and I have to be in this specific industry, or I'm not going to take a job anywhere else. If you want to be successful in landing a job that is in that field that you want to go into, or you want to reach a certain financial goal, salary, and also just feel fulfilled, you want to make sure that you keep your options open. You might have a degree in healthcare and not end up working at a hospital. You might end up working at a school, at a college or university, or working for a community agency. Again, keep your options open. If you want to be successful, you want to be as nimble as possible. So as you go through this career exploration process, don't just exclusively think about your industry sector and the opportunities available there. Explore what other opportunities might be available for you in other industries that you can apply your knowledge to. So as you go through this section, look at that career that you want to go into, start exploring specific jobs. What are the duties that are required in that specific job? And what's the salary? What's the type of education that you need to enter into that field? Some of them might just take your college degree, and that's sufficient. Others might require you to get a license or a different certificate to help you advance in that specific career that you're focusing on. And then again, graduate school exploration, and touching on the previous step, if the career that you're pursuing or this vision for yourself in your academic career in life requires you to have a graduate degree, you want to begin to explore what is required of you to get into grad school or med school or law school. Begin to explore that college or university. Are you going to take a gap year? Are you going to go straight into graduate school, med school, again, law school? And if so, do they require specific exams that you need to take? What are the types of scores that you need to have in order to be able to get into those colleges and universities, or to be able to get a fellowship at those institutions? So you want to begin to do your research in advance. And then industry networking and a mentor plan. Networking is really important. As you'll all experience here, especially for the incoming freshmen, if you're new to our organization and our student leadership program, Cristina, Fatima and Marlene, they're doing an awesome job putting together supports that you're going to be participating in. And Christina and Fatima have put together some amazing opportunities for you to network, not only with each other, but with also community leaders. It's so critical for you to begin to build that social capital. And I'm going to say it again, you need to build your social capital. If you can graduate with a 4.0 from college and be outstanding academically, but if you don't have a network that you can lean on when you graduate from college to help you transition into the workforce, you're going to be struggling. And we tell you from experience, we have it every year. Students come to us, and we've had students that have been in tears that say, I graduated top of my class from college, just did everything well, but they didn't take the time to network. Some of them may have rushed through some of the activities that we had created for them to just check off the activity. You want to make sure that you take advantage of these opportunities. You want to build that social capital so that you have a network that is going to help you when you graduate from college. And again, what we focus on here is making sure that you begin to think about mentors in your specific industry or people that can help you get to that goal that you want to reach, that vision that you have for yourself. Make sure that you think about that. And it doesn't have to be someone you sit week or month to mentor you. It might be someone that you follow on YouTube or in social media that is in that field that you're connecting with, you're learning from them. So you can do it in a group setting, mentoring. But again, begin to look for individuals that have reached that vision that you're trying to reach, that goal in career and life that can help you along the way and can set the path for you in the process. Finally, I want to leave you with some tips, especially for the students that are in their junior and senior year of college. As you prepare to enter the workforce, it's really important to, again, create that roadmap for your success as you transition. Take responsibility and action. Oftentimes we hear students that say, well, I can't reach that specific goal because someone is holding me back or I don't have the resources. We know that we could all use more resources and we can use more support. And that's why we're here to help you. But we also want you to take responsibility and action and say, yes, that I may not have that, but I'm going to find a roundabout way to get where I need to go. Take action and don't just wait for other opportunities to come your way. Create the opportunities for yourselves. Explore careers. You want to be nimble. We want to make sure that you're as successful as possible in your specific pursuit, academic and career and life pursuits. As you go through the process, don't just zero in on one specific area. Leave your options open and see how you might be able to leverage the different opportunities that align with your values and where you want to go. Develop a job search and career strategy. This personal mission statement, this college and career plan is a starting point, but make sure that you're consistently using it. You're going back and you're revising it, doing some job searches. What does the market look like? How am I going to get there? And use the supports that we're offering you to make sure that we help you get there or to calibrate along the way. Create a professional online image. Again, we require our students to create a LinkedIn account. Make sure that you're consistently updating it because this will be key for the development of your social capital, your networks. And again, gather information and feedback as you're working with your mentors or even our team. Make sure that you're gathering information. Hey, how did I do with that? Even your peers and professors. Did I do well? If not, what should I do to course correct? Consistently grow by gathering information and feedback and course correcting along the way where needed. Actively network. Again, can't underscore enough that you need to actively network to build that social capital to help you reach your goals along the way. As we've learned, and I've learned personally over the years, I can't do everything alone. You need a network, whether it's family, friends, you got family here at OneFuture Coachella Valley, make sure that you actively network. Continuously develop professionally and learn. Always learn. If even you spend 5 minutes a day picking up a book or going on the internet and learning about your industry, again, continuously develop professionally, make time for it so that you can grow along the way as well. Update and develop new skills. So again, if you do an internship, jobs, we want to make sure that come graduation, that you're going to be very marketable in your specific industry or you're going to be very successful in reaching your goals. And a lot of that has to do with developing those skills, continuously updating and developing new skills, building that quality mentor relationships, making sure that you're connecting with people in that industry or field you want to go into, or that can help you reach those goals that you've set out for yourself. Market your skills and talents. One thing that we recommend is picking up some business cards. You can get them for free on vistaprint.com. This is really important because as you're networking, oftentimes we have students that'll write down their information on a piece of paper or napkin at events, and they're handing them over to professionals that can help them. You want to be as professional as possible. You don't want to be scrambling, trying to give people information that can help you. You want to have something you can quickly hand over. I refer to this as a little mini resume on a card. Get a business card, put your name. I'm attending X, Y, and Z College University. This is my major. This is my career goal. I want to be a doctor. I want to be an attorney, a teacher, whatever that goal is, that vision, include it, and then your contact information. On the back of it, you can include your skills, LinkedIn account, or a website. Again, you always want to be top of mind for individuals. If they say, I went to that event, I met the student, they were amazing. Where's their card? They have all your information. They can reach you quickly. So again, this is like a little mini resume. As you get ready, and even for the freshmen and sophomores, as you go through school and you start thinking about internships and employment opportunities related to your career, this is going to be huge. Make sure you have these cards, get a little business card holder and put them in there. It's a little mini resume on the go. And then nurture your success. So continuously going back to that personal mission statement and career plan, updating it and continuously nurturing your success. And then finally, this was something that I read this morning that I thought was important for me to share with you. It's an article that was in Inc. magazine. It's on their website. And it was a study that was just done recently by LinkedIn. They asked people to give advice to their 20-year-old self, something that they wish they would have known when they were 20 years old, just graduated from high school, going to college. What would they like to have known at that age? And they interviewed Jeff Bezos and several industry leaders. And the one thing that they all consistently said that they wish they would have known to help them become more successful in reaching their goals in their lives was taking action. Oftentimes they said that we become so consumed with overthinking, should I do this? I'm not going to do it. And we become so paralyzed that we don't take action. And so their recommendation is take action. So I just want to leave you with that as we wrap up this presentation on your personal mission statement and career plan. Again, we want to make sure that you're working towards goals that are important to you, that align with your values and important to you. We also want to make sure that along the way, you have the tools and resources to help you get there. So that's what your personal mission statement and college and career plan are about. It's looking at setting goals, getting a target that you're working towards, and then at the end, take action. Take what you've laid out and take action. Don't overthink it and going back and let me erase this, let me do it again. Define it. You're going to continuously change that college and career plan, that personal mission statement. Again, it's not meant to be set in stone. It's an evergreen. You're going to go and revise continuously, but take action. That concludes the presentation, students. I know we covered a lot today, but again, truly honored to have the opportunity to work with all of you. And we're looking forward to working with you, not only this academic year, but to working with you as you complete college, you transition into the workforce, and looking forward to when we can call you colleagues and work with you in your specific industry.